Hey Chills crew and everyone new. Yes, I'm back from a long hiatus. Sorry I've been away for so long. A lot has happened, but I will update you in a community post. I've been creating a Summerween series while I have been away, and so for my first video in the new series, it is a spooky Poolside theme. I have 2 designs in today's video using 3 different stamping plates from 𝗵𝗍𝗔𝗍, and not only that, stay tuned to the end of the video as I reveal a new experience for my subscribers and next week's theme reveal. So, with that being said, let's get into today's video. The first polish I used was 𝘊𝗶𝗹. It's a slightly squishy coral pink jelly that does take 3 coats to become opaque. Just make sure that you don't overwork the polish to ensure that you don't get any bald spots, but it is the perfect bright pink for the summertime and it looks good on all skin tones. For the second polish, I used Frosty Lime, and it is a neon lime green with a silvery white shimmer that takes about 2 to 3 coats to become opaque on a natural nail. Just like 𝘊𝗶 though, you want to make sure that you don't overwork the polish so that you don't get bald spots, but since I'm working on clear nail tips, I did do 3 coats. Now, even though this polish is bright, it does tend to lean a little bit on the cooler side, which I'm assuming is due to the silvery white shimmer, but I love it. Last is Bel-Air from Polish for Days. It's a sky blue jelly with this pink, yellow, and green-yellow shifting iridescent flakes. They also have a black matte flake in there as well. It does take 3 thin coats to become opaque. Just make sure that you allow each layer to fully dry before applying another coat. Otherwise, you will end up basically pulling the layer underneath up if you don't let it fully dry. But otherwise, I do love the brightness and the flakies in this polish. Absolutely gorgeous. So for the first stamping plate I used in this design is the 𝗵𝗍𝗔𝗍𝗍 MXM080 Pool Party Swim Club. I love both of the full-size nail images, but also the phrases. For the first design, I used Lime Pine and Vaporwave in an ombre effect, so I'll scrape a couple times to get a nice blend and then quickly use the 𝗬𝗄𝐺 resizing stamper to shrink down the image to get a full design on the nail. I chose those 2 colors since I felt like they matched the base polishes the best. They give the background a vivid pop against 𝘊𝗶𝗹, so after stamping, I'll wipe down the sides to make sure nothing is sticking out and everything is even. Next, I'll use Straight Up Black for the phrase Keepin' Cool in the Pool. I used the same stamper and placed the image over the ombre swimsuit background. Once the image is dry, I'll apply 𝗵𝗍𝗔𝗍𝗍 smudge-free top coat to prevent any smearing and set it to the side to dry. For the middle nail, I'll be going after this poolside photograph in Straight Up Black again. I'll remove the extra bits carefully around the photograph that I don't want. You can actually use a scraper card like I'm doing in the video, or you could even use a small piece of Scotch tape. Now I'll fill in the pool with Vaporwave and then use Melt for the outer ring of the pool for a pop of color. Make sure to carefully stay in the lines using a fine nail art brush. Afterwards, I'll use Maui Gold for the floor outside the pool and then Blue Ribbon for the sky. While filling in the sky, I'll use the other side of the nail art brush using the dotting tool. Once the image is dry, go ahead and add a sticky base coat to the nail. Wait 60 seconds until it's slightly tacky, then apply the decal. Make sure that the sticky base is slightly tacky and not goopy, otherwise you'll ruin the image once it's placed down onto the nail. Then wait for it to fully dry and then apply your smudge-free top coat to the nail. For the ghosts in these designs, I used 𝗵𝗍𝗔𝗍𝗍 M315 Paranormal Activity. I love the different ghost poses on this plate, and I wish 𝗵𝗍𝗔𝗍𝗍 would create more of these design your own spooky plates. Now we need a ghost to lounge in our pool. I'll use straight up black again for the outline of the ghost and the 𝗿𝗏𝗃 stamper to shrink the image. I'll remove the bottom half of the image, then fill in the ghost with 𝘂𝗏 white and set it to the side to dry. Once the image is ready to be stamped, I'll use another layer of sticky base coat over the pool image since the image won't stick to the nail. Make sure to wait until the sticky base is slightly tacky, then carefully place the ghost in the pool. Now I'll carefully cover the bottom half of the ghost with Vaporwave to cover up any of the uneven areas. I'll wait for it to dry, and then I'll outline the water and the bottom part of the ghost with straight up black for detailing. Once that's dry, I'll apply another coat of smudge-free top coat and then set it to the side to dry. The second summer theme plate I used was 𝘂𝗎𝗔𝗧𝗔𝗍𝗍𝗔 𝘂𝗏𝗔𝗀𝗍𝗔𝗍𝗔𝗍𝗔𝗍𝗍𝗔 my favorite images were the water reflections and the pool float designs on this plate. For the ring nail design, I used blue ribbon for the water reflection and shrunk the image using the 𝗬𝗏𝗃 resizing stamper. I placed it down over the Bel-Air color, then wiped down any areas that had the stamper pieces sticking up. Once it dried, I then applied a thin layer of smudge-free top coat. Since I wanted the pineapple pool float to be bigger than the ghost, I didn't shrink the image, but just used the 𝗬𝗏𝗃 stamper without the shrinking tool. Then I carefully colored in the pineapple float with lime pine for the outer area and Maui gold for the inner area. If you're afraid of accidentally smearing the inner design of the pineapple, use a dotting tool first, then the nail art brush to fill in any missing spots. While the pineapple is drying, I'll go after the same ghost as before to relax on the pineapple pool float. I'll use straight up black for the outline and pick up the image with the 𝗬𝗏𝗃 shrinking stamper. I'll fill in the ghost with 𝘂𝗏 white, and once the ghost is almost dry but slightly tacky, go ahead and apply a thin layer of sticky base to the nail. Wait until it becomes slightly tacky, almost dry, and then apply the pineapple float first to the nail. I placed it at an angle to give the illusion it's floating in a pool, then carefully place the ghost in the middle of the float. The ghost should be smaller than the float, and afterwards I use straight up black to place eyes onto the ghost. I allow it to dry and then apply an even layer of smudge-free top coat. Once all the stamping designs have a smudge-free top coat on them and they're completely dry, apply a coat of glitter grabber to the nails to smooth out any decals. Once the glitter grabber is dried, then apply your favorite top coat. I'm using 𝗂𝗏 Shimmers clearly on top since I don't experience pulling with it, and it gives the nails a beautiful glossy, juicy finish. Now for the second design. Starting off with the index nail, I went after the tile pool design. I used 𝘂𝗏 white for the grout lines and the monocle stamper since I needed the lines to be straight. If you use a smaller stamper head, it might be difficult to get straight lines. I'll use Vaporwave for a pop of color and the 𝗬𝗏𝗃 shrinking stamper to make the water reflection smaller to fit the full-size image onto the nail. Wipe down the sides if any of the stamping frays around the nail tip. If you're stamping on natural nails, make sure to use a liquid latex or 𝘂𝗎𝗔𝗧𝗔𝗍 Mani mask around the nail for an easier cleanup. I'll do the same thing with blue ribbon using the other water reflection image from the plate. I'll carefully place down the design, trying not to cover the previous image, but layering it to give it some dimension to the nail. Once the stamping is dried, I'll apply a layer of smudge-free top coat and set it to the side to fully dry. Just like the pineapple ghost in the first design, I'll go after the citrus slice using straight up black for the outline. I'll make it look like a large lemon, so I'll color it in with Maui Gold using the dotting tool and then the nail art brush for the fine detailing. Once it's filled in, I'll set it to the side to fully dry. Now, using the 𝘂𝗃𝗏 plate, I'll be going after this cute girly ghost. She'll be outlined in straight up black, her bow will be filled in with melt, and the rest of the body will be with bam white. We'll repeat the process just like the pineapple ghost. Make sure to apply a thin layer of sticky base onto the nail and wait 60 seconds for it to become slightly tacky. Apply the lemon to the nail first at an angle and then the girly ghost. I had her head resting at the top part of the lemon rind just so it appeared that she was lounging or chilling in the pool. Go ahead and apply a smudge-free top coat once again to the nail and set it to the side to dry. Using the 𝘂𝗔𝗍𝗔𝗍𝗔 plate, I will be going after the large umbrella image. I use straight up black for the outline and then fill them in with bam white. Once they've dried, I've applied a thin layer to the sticky base to the nail. Then I'll carefully apply the designs to the top and bottom corners of the nail tip. Afterwards, I'll pick up the phrase "Ghouls just want to have fun" on plate 𝘂𝗃𝗏. I'll use bam white first as a background layer to help Maui Gold pop against Bel-Air. I use a rolling technique with a monocle stamper to pick up the phrase since getting this design in the corner can be a little difficult. Repeat the same steps with placing Maui Gold over bam white. Once the image has dried, then apply a layer of smudge-free top coat. Now for the last nail. I'll use lime pine for a vivid background over cello. I'll use the 𝗬𝘃𝗃𝗏 shrinking stamper so that I could place the full image onto the nail tip. I love how the lime green pops against the pink. Now, make sure that you wipe down any stamping bits on the sides of the nail that are sticking out. Next, I'll apply a thin layer of smudge-free top coat and set it to the side to dry. While that's drying, I'll go back to 𝘂𝗃𝗏𝗏 for the floating ghost that looks like they could hold an item. I'll use straight up black for the outline and bam white again for the body, and then set it to the side to dry. Once the ghost is dried, I'll go back to the same plate and pick up the spooky umbrella in straight up black with a monocle stamper. Now that my stamps are ready, I'll apply a thin layer of sticky base. Wait for it to become slightly tacky, and then I'll place my ghost down first. Then I'll place the spooky umbrella in the ghost's hand. After that, I'll use a detail nail art brush to apply the ghost's eyes. And then I'll apply another layer of smudge-free top coat and set it to the side to dry. Now that everything is dry, we can add a glitter grabber to the nails to smooth out the decals. It'll take about 25 minutes to cure, and then you can apply your favorite top coat. 𝗂𝗏 Shimmer Clearly on Top is my go-to top coat. And there you have it. Let me know what your favorite designs were from this video. Everything I used will be listed down below in the description box or the pinned comment. And now for the surprise. I would like to inform my subscribers that I've created a Facebook group, the Chills Crew. I want a creative space for all of you spooky chicks out there that would like to show off your creepy manicures, or anyone who would like more tips on reverse stamping, brainstorming ideas for gothic nail art, or just general nail art tips. Plus, I'll be showing sneak peek photos and screenshots of upcoming videos for behind the scenes. For anyone who's interested in joining, I'll leave a link down in the description box. And as for next week's Summerween design, think creepy tiki. Until then, take care and stay chilly.